it when you driving in your nasty Tesla and hearing your employee talk about you like this.
Lowe's busy doing payroll right now. He's busy doing payroll.
I've literally heard this nigga Low talk about, yo, Najee, I can't get the money to you this Friday. I'll get it to you next Friday, nigga. What are you talking about? You're your own boss. This nigga determines when you get your money. You just like us. Don't ever disassociate yourself from us ever again, nigga. He's your daddy. Before I start calling you no layups legend of winning, nigga. The fuck up. You must have lost your damn mind.
All right, shut up, you fucking monkey. Now I got multiple sources of fucking revenue before you ever disrespect me like that, nigga. You better watch your fucking self. Now, I hope Lo didn't hear that. Lo should never tell me to fuck. I'm gonna be crazy. I can fuck. I'm gonna say, nigga, what? Fuck out of here. No way.
Bro, you gonna look at him crazy, unemployed, bro.
Hey, I'm gonna just hit the trap harder. The fuck is you talking about? Is this recorded?
What a pussy. Oh, God.
Is this being recorded?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, I am not a drug dealer.
Yeah, it is recorded, nigga.
Yo, this nigga.
Pussy.
Yo, no cap, Najee, no cap. This nigga. Hey, look, bro. Hey, Logo, not low, but Najee gonna become unemployed. He gonna become his own entrepreneur, and I swear to God, some coochie gonna fall in his lap, and he gonna fuck up that whole shit. No cap. That shit gonna
you prey on a black
What is
man.
What is it like though?
What she look like though? You gotta think. I may find love. Should I pass up on love for money?
Nigga, if love is detrimental to your overall success, nigga, you should pass.
I'm just saying, bro.
What is the
coaching job?
Nigga, you are gonna die with yourself, my boy.
But udoka, was that love?
Enjoy your life, find your person. But the person that you love should never hold you back.
Trey, the thing is you don't have to go that far. If you want to be with a woman, be with her.
But sometimes situations are inevitable.
Nigga, it's inevitable you get held back.
All right, how about that?
It don't matter if the situation is inevitable, bro. Just like quit your job, nigga. Like you not
I
working.
wouldn't quit my job.
So
that's
she can
cool.
face consequences.
Nigga, and I can take the consequences. Why are you niggas acting like I don't know?
I ain't talking about you. I see you on the same. We're saying
Y'all see eye to eye underneath the bridge. Y'all underneath the bridge, no cap.
I ain't gonna never be underneath.
Y'all remember that old nigga that was underneath the bridge with like the whole? He had his whole apartment shit. Bro, that's weird, bro.
Who made y'all high morale, motherfucker?
They underneath the bridge.
That would be underneath the bridge.
Bro said, "What happened to freedom of speech when take up it?"
Fuck wrong with you, nigga?
Hey, these niggas, the trolls.
Who made y'all the voice of reason, fam? Like, who would y'all say that?
We have the voice of reason in VC right now.
Hey, no. Hey, yo, Chef.
NMZ, come off mute, bro.
Hold up, yo, Chef. You said you the voice? Hey, Chef, the voice.
Y'all make it seem like y'all.
Nah, Chef, the voice, but he little Dirk.
NMZ is the voice. NMZ, bro. Come off mute, nigga. That's literally your
brand. Hey, yo,
brand.
Chef Dirk, yo, man.
Chef Dirk, slander and not thinking like y'all. Like niggas ain't wrong for how they think. He wrong for something.
Hey, Chef, you the voice of reason.
Y'all gotta pick. Everybody ain't like you. Everybody ain't simple-minded and motherfucking. Like,
we simple-minded. We simple-minded.
Everybody ain't a sucker like you.
It ain't even about that.
I don't know about y'all, bro. But
Hey, look, Chef said we a slave to the game. Like, he's a slave to the coochie, bro. Levels to this, bro. Hey, Chef said there's levels to this game.
Niggas in here think they big brain because they got a sex addiction, bro. Shut the fuck up, man.
Oh, wait.
Some sex addicts in here talking crazy.
Yo, Love.
You niggas are simple-minded, bro. You niggas are the slaves to corporate America.
Hey, did you finish?
Nigga, just say you're horny. Just say you're horny 24/7, nigga. Come on and say that shit, bro. Say you beat your fucking dick 5 times a day, niggas. That's what you saying. You saying you can't control your sexual urges when you go to sleep, nigga. Don't ever in your life call me simple-minded again, nigga. I'll slap the fuck out of you.
Yo, nigga, what is going on?
Wow.
I would like to say,
wait.
What are you saying, NMZ? Because y'all niggas is crazy.
No, I was just gonna ask you. Did you finish Najee's letter of termination?
What happened?
Oh, you missed all that?
I'm moving. I'm doing a bunch of shit.
That nigga said he would look at you crazy if you ever told him he can't fuck a coworker or some shit.
Oh yeah, if we hire female employees, y'all niggas are not gonna be able to fuck. I don't know what to tell y'all niggas, but too much complication that happens in the workplace when you allow people, especially when you're higher up. This is a common knowledge. That's not anything new. That's common knowledge. Very, very common.
I can't believe we're letting sex addicts dig into space, bro. This is so insane to me, bro.
Because I know we're definitely.
Because this is a big issue, Lo. Like 2 niggas in here are saying they cannot control their urges and they will fuck on site. That's what they've said for the last 30 minutes.
Not only that. I mean, if you want to fuck them, you can. You just can't work for me while you're doing it. But also like, that's a common thing. Like that's just everywhere you work. I don't know why. Like I don't know why that's complicated. If you disagree with it, just don't take the job. That's A. And B, this is all with the understanding of this is what he might have done, even though there's plenty of things pointing to something much worse than them just having some type of relations. Because again, even if they just had some form of relations, they would not just be suspending him for a year. They would not have an ongoing investigation if they were having. Like I don't even know how we got to this point, but we're spending way too much time on it.
Because we have sex addicts controlling the space, niggas. What I'm trying to fucking tell you.
There's no way, because again, you can't be that dense to believe that it's something as simple as, oh, well, they're just it's just an ongoing investigation because two adults had consenting sex like that. I don't know how you think they were having a whole nother fucking investigation, a third party brought involved, and a year's suspension to him if it was just something as simple as, oh, 2 consenting adults had a relationship. That's not how that works at all. Like not even in the slightest. So I hope that y'all niggas are not of the belief that that's what's happening, because that would be fucking crazy.
Low, he cheated on Nia Long.
Why don't you just get it somewhere
Najee,
else?
there is no way you just
but he cheated on Nia Long.
Najee, please delete that, bro. Please delete that off.
I did used to be one.
Low, listen, Low. He cheated on Nia Long, so they had to incite the full disciplinary action of the law.
Because he probably could have just got literally on suspension for keep doing that after he said he's not to.
No, why would they have an investigation on them just having consensual
They
relations?
already
cheated on
said
Nia
had
Long.
multiple
You just
violations.
said when you sign a contract that you can't that they take it away from you, that you can't have sex with this employee. He probably kept doing it, so they suspended him. So
Listen, all I'm gonna say is,
Chef, I'm gonna ask you the question again because you're not answering it. Why would they have a third party investigation?
I'm gonna get a bag either way, bro.
A third party.
To prove it.
So what?
They said to prove it, bro. To prove that he cheated, bro.
To prove why?
The woman,
Why the fuck would Brad?
Bro, you have to.
He told them he did it. The woman involved told them that he did it, that they did it, and they just had to make sure.
You have to have a third. No, you have to have a third party investigate a situation, because you just can't have your lawyers and your people invest when you're dealing with a business. You have to have a third party do their due diligence as well, because then they can sue. They can sue somebody can sue the Celtics, the organization, if they not like they have to cover their own asses. That's the reason the Celtics have a third party.
I get that part, but the only reason why.
But you never said that. But you never said that, Legend.
No, you never said that.
Why? The reason why
you didn't outwardly say common sense, bro. You didn't outwardly say common sense.
The reason why they would get to a point where somebody is suing is if that there is conflicting statements amongst 2 entities. Correct?
That's not all the time.
Facts.
No, I'm not saying that they're automatically going to sue. I'm saying the reason why the Celtics are having someone else do an investigation is because they have to cover their own asses. They can't just do their own internal investigation and that's it. Just like with like a big, like it might be a little different, but just like with a big situation with the law, like the police, they have their upper, what's them people called? They have their upper people do an investigation as well. Like they don't just like, what's them fucking people called?
FBI, CIA.
No, you getting cooked.
No, but they have like
special investigators.
They have people who investigate. Like they have police who investigate the
private investigators.
Like no,
not private investigators.
They just like it's just I forgot what that division is called, but it's like a division where they investigate other police officers. Like they just like the police just can't investigate themselves, and like we're dealing with a business like the Celtics.
What are they investigating?
No, I'm saying that the Celtics, they did their own internal investigation about what happened. We don't know. We clearly don't know all of the details,
They
but
had a third party
it's more
investigation.
than just cheating, is what it sounds like. It
Okay,
sounds
but
like it was a
Wait,
consensual
no.
relationship, and then the
It's OPR
relationship
kills.
no
Wait,
longer
wait.
had any more
Kels,
consent.
It wouldn't
what you're
matter if it
saying
was
is
just cheating, though.
what you're saying is what I'm saying, which is it would have to be more because
Yeah.
if they're both consenting and they both are also cooperate with the exact same accounts of what occurred, then they're not going to go get a third party. Something had to have happened to where one party says something and the other party says something different, which has already been reported that that's what's happened. And then as a result, they got a third party. They're not going to go get a third party if both of them both have the exact same recollection of what has occurred. And then the Boston Celtics then do their own internal investigation and come to the conclusion for them to stop. That's not going to happen. Something had to have occurred where there was a conflict between one party and the
Well,
next.
that's what it literally. But that's what was put out. It was saying that it was some
Chef is disagreeing with that.
unwarranted comments, and then it is said in the press that he violated several. It wasn't so like people aren't like listening. They're just thinking it's just
Chef
like
disagrees with that.
they're just thinking. Yeah, I wasn't arguing with Lowe about his point.
No, yeah, for sure.
Chef wants to be unemployed for pussy.
It was a coup d'etat against Ime Udoka. He had an out for him, like free Ime, free Udoka, bro. Like this
Yeah,
is they're attacking a successful black man. They don't want us to succeed.
Wait. Trey will talk about all of this. Trey will talk about all of this spiritual stuff and talk about retention and all of that. But as soon as it's time
what the
for
fuck? What the fuck? Y'all say anything spiritual? What the fuck?
I preach retention.
Let me finish.
Why is this nigga lying on my name? Yo, I'm not gonna let you keep lying on my name, little nigga. Bro, get it right, bro. I did not say nothing about no semen retention, little nigga.
Cool. Let me
Your ass a liar, bro. Like no cap, bro.
All I'm saying is when it's time for your favorite franchise, that's ran by a white man, by the way, to win a title, you throwing out all your morals aside.
What the fuck is this nigga talking about?
He's trolling, bro.
I don't know.
Yo,
I
this
just
nigga
got
Eli came up here
I don't know what happened.
What are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about?
That's your other employee, by the way. I just want you to know that, nigga.
No, I do not employ Eli.
Oh, you don't employ that nigga?
No, I don't employ Eli.
Oh, I mean, if you just gonna lie, I guess. But
yeah. Y'all continue to talk.
This little nigga came up here to lie on my name, bro.
I'm just saying.
That little nigga came up here to lie on my name, bro. This is crazy.
Y'all treating this man like he just John Watson, though, fam. Like that's crazy, bro. This nigga didn't.
Chef, listen.
You don't know what he did, so you like this nigga did. You don't even know.
Bro, Charlize, you just don't get it, bro. Like this man had a consensual relationship with this other female individual, and the white man in the front office of the Boston Celtics just did not fuck with it. They was mad they wasn't getting the pussy.
Wait,
so
what? That is crazy.
They formed
so
a coup d'etat. They had to get him out, bro. They just can't outwardly fire him. They had to get him out of here, bro.
Trey, that sounds ignorant.
They devised a plan. They devised a plan to keep Ime Udoka out of here, bro. They had to put a lawsuit against this nigga, man.
They was both in a relationship, you know what I'm saying, and they was both consensual. They was both rocking with each other, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Can I say something real quick? Just
don't.
because we have a consensual relationship at one point in time doesn't mean I'm not allowed to change my mind.
Okay,
it can be consensual until it's no longer consensual.
We told them that earlier when niggas was not listening.
This is the thing.
Everybody said
this is the thing y'all said.
I'm talking to one person. I don't know how you're piggybacking.
And if she did that, because that has to be. If she was the one who did that, and not the third party. If she was the one who did that, bro, you act like this man kept pursuing, like this man, like coming and like assaulted her.
I feel like y'all don't understand. No. I just feel like y'all don't understand power dynamics in a workplace. Just because, like, once you're somebody's boss, like us, like people who work regular jobs, some of us try to please our bosses every day. Laugh at their fucking jokes or fake smile all the fucking time. So when you're a boss and you have a fucking employee and you have a relationship with them, and if you do not acknowledge and go through the proper channels, that relationship, that just because the two adults consented to it doesn't mean in the workplace that it's consensual with the like. I don't know how I'm trying to fucking say this, but you're fucking response. But yeah, like it's just like I don't know, like
But
I feel like I don't
Kills,
understand that
Like, it's
part
not a
of like the
possibility.
power
listen,
dynamics
Kills.
in a relationship.
Everything you said was facts, but it's not true though.
I got a question.
It's not true.
I got a
It's not.
question.
It's facts, but it's not.
So it's out of the realm of the possibility that they would just both had a great connection with each other. Like that, it had to
Bro,
be
what?
something where she was trying
Oh
to
my
put
god, are you?
in a
Yo,
work
Never
this is
mind.
one
I
curious
feel like
ass
the
nigga, bro.
opposite
I
is
can't
true.
control this nigga. This is a curious ass nigga, bro.
I'm
Yo,
curious.
Chef.
Hey,
I
y'all,
promise you,
y'all
Chef. We
white
do not know if this nigga love this woman or not, bro. We don't know that.
But you
I'm
don't
not
know if he
assuming
did.
anything, but just automatically victimizing Udoka, like it's just
I'm not
kind of weird.
victimizing him.
Nigga
No,
said he
I'm not
found the love of
victimizing
his
him.
life at the Boston
You
Celtics
are
organization.
victimizing
You are
him.
victimizing him,
You've
though.
done nothing but victimize him.
Only thing I have a
You're
problem
saying
with
that
is
we're
y'all
pointing him
when
as
y'all
some
are
terrible
slandering
person.
him
Yeah, I
like
like
he's
to, cause
Deshaun
All
y'all
you
like
Watson.
to
have
do
done
How
is
y'all
this.
treating this
victimize
man
him
like
and
he's
try to
Deshaun
demonize
Watson?
Are entitled
the
to
people
every
who are
Kyle
going
is
against
treating this
him.
man.
Like y'all didn't mention
Kyle.
though he's a black man, white.
You
Y'all didn't
essentially
mention
said
all
that.
of this,
You
and that's so
essentially said that.
annoying. Like y'all did. This is not the same situation. Please do not quote me and don't act like that. But y'all just like to victimize certain people because they're black. Like, oh, well, white people do it, so they should be. Black people should
Nah,
be
because
able to
I
get
think
away with
Deshaun
it
Watson
too.
is a
That
terrible
shit is
person.
so annoying and
But
ridiculous
nobody's
at
Why
a
why are you
treating
point.
him
comparing him
like
to Deshaun
Deshaun
Why are we
Watson?
Watson,
comparing this
nigga.
shit
I
to
think
Sean
Deshaun
Watson?
Watson is a
What are
better
you
You
person.
what are you sitting here talking about?
Deshaun
As
Watson
if
has a
you
whole
have we
are
story,
gotten
so
all
I
of
don't
the
know why you're
Like
bringing
information?
that
it's
shit
a
up,
color
dog.
thing.
And there's plenty of people who said
Have we gotten
Deshaun
all of
Watson
the
should be
information?
punished.
All I
No, wait. I just need to understand something. At what point, Lo, I don't know if you hear NMZ, I don't know if you hear, but at what point did we say anything to insinuate that him and Deshaun Watson are anything comparable? Their situations are they're both these terrible human. When did we ever say that? I need an explanation as to when we ever
Nobody didn't say that. But
insinuated something like that. We
I
never
also.
hinted. We never gave you any context clues, nigga. So I don't know how your fuck peanut brain bitch ass came to that conclusion of that we're comparing those two bitch ass niggas, bro. Nobody cares about Ime Udoka. That nigga's a fucking weirdo and he's a loser who has a sex addict. He's a sex addict, just like your bitch ass.
Jeez.
Just like Deshaun Watson.
Wait,
Nigga, stop comparing those two niggas, bro.
Let me
What are
say
you
this real
talking
quick.
about? I don't know how you keep bringing him up.
I think, and I also wanted to say, because we had to stop with this language of like, oh, it might have just been, you know, a relationship that happened at work, at the workplace, where, you know, like, and it was against company policy to have that relationship, bro. Like, if you even listen to how the how Brad Stevens and what's his name, was that an owner that was speaking at the press conference earlier today?
It was Brad Stevens. It was all of them. It was Brad Stevens and I think and the owner as well.
If you even just listen to how they're speaking, listen to the terminology in which they're using, and gauge off of everything else they got to. Again, we're not saying that he did something because it's not written in stone yet. But again, bro, like this is just pretty common sense. We had to stop acting as if like this is just some normal
He's
work
acting so
relationship.
oblivious, like he can't put two and two together. Like he can't come to his own conclusions. He can't come to conclusions when Brad Stevens is insinuating that this nigga did some shit, but he can use context clues to say that we're comparing this nigga to Deshaun Watson. I need someone to come here and make it make sense.
I just got done rereading this short little Athletic article, but I mean it very clearly outlines that it were at least remarks that were unconsensual. And then I'm re-listening to the press conference right now. In every way imaginable, the owners in Brad Stevens is very clearly outlining disturbing information in which has been revealed. So,
Willow, are you sure he did it? Are you really sure he did
it? This is them coming from the third party entity in which they employed for them to get to this conclusion, and then further remarked as if like the third party entity took potentially two months to get to this conclusion as well. So they did a thorough investigation. All of this, none of this comes to this conclusion if it was just, hey, these two were in a healthy dynamic work relationship. That is against It's against policy. It's against company policy for them to have it, but they were in a healthy work relationship beyond. They were in a healthy, intimate relationship beyond the bounds of their working responsibility. That there's nothing about this that outlines that at all. What it was, nobody is saying. To the level of severity in which we're saying, nobody doesn't know either, especially because if it was that severe, I would assume he probably would have already gotten fired. But they're only giving him a year suspension. But we do know for a fact that it is severe enough for him to be suspended and the young lady not, or whoever it is, for her not to be suspended. And we also know for a fact that there was unwarranted comments at the bare minimum. And we also know that it took months for them to come to this conclusion, not them just looking at not something that took like a week or 2 or 3 or even 1 month, that there was enough mounting evidence that they were compiling amongst themselves, the third-party entity, that it took months to come to that conclusion. None of that is in response. None of that would be in response to a healthy relationship that may have occurred at a workplace.
Below, don't you think that's pretty comparable to what Deshaun Watson does? Don't
I'm
you
not
think
even saying anything about Deshaun Watson.
No, but I'm just curious. Don't you think that's insinuating that he's close to Deshaun Watson?
No, again, this had nothing to do with nobody else but Ime Udoka. Nothing to do with anybody else but Ime Udoka. That's literally it. There's no way that you actually did the research, read the articles, and listened to the press conference, and you left that saying and looking at the response in which they have and looked at it and said they had a healthy relationship with one another. There's no way you. There's
this
no way
nigga's in here caping for him, bro, and then trying to demonize us, make it seem like we're the bad people here. What the fuck are we doing?
There's no way.
You didn't read anything. You're being ignorant. You're being arrogant. It's making me agitated and aggravated. I can't even come up with enough words to describe how fucking angry I am because I keep hearing this nigga falsely accuse us of saying things that we're not saying. And that's all the irony because you're saying that's what's happening to Ime Udoka.
Because I'm re-listening to it again, and there's just no way that you could come to the conclusions on which we're coming to. So there's just no way.
All right, let me respond to that. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I would actually need to see what he said. Because if he did say so, you know what I'm saying, then yeah, I will admit that I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
He fully
but
admitted
at that
to
point, I
But
think
why
it's
are
just
you
but at
making
this point,
Can he
conclusions if you don't know what he said?
Can y'all let
He's
Wes, he's been
can I
speaking
speak?
for 2 hours, my
Yeah,
nigga.
like, can I speak? Can I speak? I've been letting y'all go. You know what I'm saying? At that point, I think he was just begging for pussy. Though.
Wes, he's been
I think he
speaking
was
for
just
over
begging
an
for
hour.
pussy at that point.
Well, why are you admitting that you haven't done the due diligence to listen to everything that's been said?
I mean, I listened to the press conference. I'm not finna read articles from Trust Me, bro. Like, I'm not finna read like unnamed sources when the identity of the female hasn't even been released yet. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Then what?
So,
Then why are you advocating for Ime when you don't know?
Because y'all don't know
specifics.
either.
Well, yeah, I think he's saying that let's get the full information.
That's essentially what everyone is saying. Like,
even though y'all don't know nothing either, it's okay for y'all to slander even though y'all don't know shit either.
Bro, we're not speculating.
Y'all just called this man an assaulter. Y'all really just called him.
No, we didn't. Hold up.
Who said that?
Before I came up here.
The space is recorded. The space is recorded. I'm not going to defend. Listen, Chef.
you're essentially going off of a press conference.
Chef. You can think what you think, right? Like, but the space is recorded. So we're gonna say we didn't say that, and if we did say that, you can just watch the recording and catch us in a lie. However, I know for a fact I never said that. I know for a fact when I was up here, no one said that. No one said that. I was up here before you, and no one said that. So unless I'm wrong, you can prove me wrong. Go watch the recording. We're not gonna go. We've been talking about this for over an hour. We've been talking about this shit for over an hour. You're tweaking.
Call him a I disagree with Chef, but
no. The only time I said assaulter is when I say he's acting like we said that he's a sexual assaulter. No one actually called this nigga a sexual assaulter.
said that, bro.
I said that y'all are acting like we're saying that. I never said he was actually a sexual assaulter. You can
Let the
go
man
back and
speak
watch
though.
and listen
Let
to
the
his
man
face.
speak. Let the man who was just finished.
So I can throw him some bell.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I can throw him some bell and say I definitely heard somebody up here say he's a fucking sex addict, and I don't know what report. Now, if that was in a report, no, Trey, stop.
The word
stop,
assaulter
stop.
is not the same as
Lord
the word
have
addict.
mercy.
Just let
I
him
didn't
finish.
say that.
Let him
Trey,
finish,
you're not
bro.
listening.
Okay, bro.
That's
let him finish.
Mute points are being.
because while I'm trying to say what I'm saying,
Like,
you're
Trey,
not
you getting
allowing
cooked
me to
right now.
speak. So I never.
You
hold
said
on.
what, Chef?
Okay, Trey,
You
you
getting
have the
cooked right
floor.
now.
Say what you
Yeah,
got to say,
Trace,
bro.
let him speak, man.
I can't raise my voice on the nigga's case.
Wes, the nigga literally just said my name. Go ahead and finish your sentence, man. But the
But
nigga
then
just said
don't cut me
your
off.
name,
Then
not
don't cut
my
me off
name. So
while
why are you only getting on me for interrupting you when he just interrupted you?
Bro, I heard your voice.
Are you fucking stupid? He just said my name.
I'm telling you. You asked why. I said I heard your voice.
Go ahead. Just finish what you're saying, bro. The nigga said I heard your voice. Like what?
You asked the question, did you not?
Oh my god.
Wes, go ahead.
Just go ahead, bro. Just finish your thought, nigga.
Mute up. What I said was I did hear someone accuse Udoka of being a sex addict. I don't know where that is in any report. I'm not up here trying to defend Udoka about anything. But when you come up here and you say things that we don't know to be true yet, that is fucked up. And that is slander. When you get on a platform and say,
okay, so the reason I interrupted you, bro, is because you just did, no one said that. No one said you're arguing a point that no one fucking made. No one said that we did not say he's a sex addict, nigga. No one said that. They said that we said no. They said that we just say he's a sex assaulter. They just said that we just say he's a sexual assaulter. You're arguing a point that no one made. That's why I interrupted you. I knew you was going there.
No, bro.
No one said we never say he's a sex addict. You're arguing for no reason.
You're not addressing.
You're arguing for no reason.
He's not arguing for the sexual assault, bro. He's making his own point. He's making his own point.
Jesus Christ. Okay, because every time I walk away from the phone, I just come back and there's like 7 niggas arguing. Jesus. Hey, Ash said that he's a sex addict. He's correct. There was nowhere in the articles that said that he's a sex addict. There are news though, niggas telling me that he might be a sex addict, but there's no report saying that he is a sex addict. There's no reports saying he's a sex addict. So fair enough. However, the terminology as sexual assaulter, nobody has said that. Nobody has said sexual assaulter. Nobody has never said he's a sexual assaulter. Nobody said that. Let me hear my nigga Wes, man. It's been a while. I ain't heard Wes in a second. What's up with you, Wes? Let me hear this nigga Wes real quick, bro. Jesus Christ, bro. Jeez.
And one of the women actually said that too, by the way. One of the women called him one of those terms.
I never called him an assaulter.
And I never said that.
One of the women said that. Actually,
I would say
regardless, my point had nothing to do with the sexual assault thing. My point was about being on the platform and spreading misinformation. And I don't know that I didn't know it was misinformation. This is why I also said that if it was in a report, cool, let me know. I didn't see it, but from what I heard, to say he is a sex addict, that sounds like slander to me. And that is what one of the points that I heard made up here about nigga slandering his name. Now the sexual assault shit, if that was never said, that's cool. I like if y'all never said that, that's fine. And I'm not here to cape for Ime. I'm saying that if someone is uncomfortable with people saying, oh, Ime is this, and painting him as things that he, quite frankly, has not been proven to be yet, it's okay for somebody to say that.
Preach, my brother.
That's okay.
Okay. So here's the thing about that, right? Here's the thing about that. Even when Ash says he's a sex addict, nigga, we were speaking in ifs. No one here has been speaking in absolutes. So even to that degree, the point is still mute because Ash, when he said he was speaking as if this shit is true. He's a sex addict, and he said that y'all are sex addicts and horny because y'all kept defending this nigga for an hour, talking about some. Oh yeah, if I was in a position and my employer told me to stop fucking my coworker, I would just do it. That's what y'all was saying for the last hour and a half. Y'all was saying that. So why? No. Hold on. Because Chef's gonna act like he agrees with Wes and Wes is defending. Wes, you're defending a mute point because Ash never definitively said this nigga Ime is a sex addict. He was saying that it's not a non-absolute point. Ash was saying that's a non-absolute point. Do y'all understand what that means?
No cap. Hey, y'all niggas is arguing really, really mute points. Everybody arguing mute point. Y'all niggas arguing about what y'all arguing about. This nigga Ime Udoka, it's been reported that he sent unsolicited messages to a woman that he works with. There was a private investigation that happened because of the information that was passed on to management, upper management, and ownership. The private investigation has lasted longer than a month. And the result of that was a 1-year suspension that possibly could be extended to indefinitely and even him being fired. With the information that, and also the owner of one of the owners of the Boston Celtics has openly came out and said that the things in which he has read was concerning. So, with that bit of information, there's no way that this should be marginalized as, oh, well, potentially there was an ongoing healthy relationship or dynamic between two entities. And because it was against company policy is why this is the result. No. Because that is really the ongoing problem right now.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to mention.
I have a really important question too. Was this reported by her, or was this found out by a third party?
This was initially reported by her, and then the owner is basing this based off of the third party investigation.
The third party investigation by a respected law firm.
So what did she report? Like, what out of her mouth? What did she say? This
ask her, bro.
What did she say?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Chef. I ain't gonna lie, bro. We are wasting time with this conversation, bro.
Even with the technicalities of what she said,
wasting their time. I
don't know. Even with the technicalities of what she said, it was still damning enough to warrant them to hire a third party law firm to investigate it. And then out of that investigation, the result in which there was that they had held at bare minimum a response of a year suspension as they continue to proceed.
So that's why.
And remind.
But no, that's good. Now let's get right there because Lo is actually spitting like the facts and whatever. Besides Ash and Trey over here spewing.
Don't say my fucking name when we had this conversation for a fucking hour, and we said the same thing you saying.
My thing about
you just like Lowe's voice more. Just say it like that. You just like that nigga voice. You like the way that nigga talk to you in your ear, my nigga. Because we said the exact same shit. You said the exact same shit. No. Don't say my fucking name, and you gonna be saying stupid shit, nigga. I'm tired of your stupidity, nigga. We've been having this conversation for an hour and a half. We all been saying the same shit, nigga. You're just too brain dead to realize what people are saying, nigga. You like that nigga low voice, you like the way he talks to you, nigga. Let the nigga talk to you that way, bro. You like the way that nigga talk to you, nigga. You like the way that nigga talk to you in your ear, bro. No, nigga, we're not spreading false information.
Okay, so I was doing something called going to work, something that half of these niggas in here need to do. First of all, as I sit down in my gym desk, right, I'm gonna say this. First, Wes, when I was calling him a sex addict, it was very clearly, if it wasn't, I'm sorry, but it very clearly was supposed to be a negative insult, not an accusation, but an insult to not only him, but Najee and Chef, because those two were in here basically saying, like what Trey was saying, that if I was in his position, I'd do the same thing. That I'm not going to let a nigga tell me who I can and can't have sex with, and that corporate America is fucked up for telling me that you're not supposed to have sex, especially with people who are either above you or below you in power. That's why I was calling those three sex addicts. I was not accusing him of being a literal sex addict. I just want to make that very clear. I thought that was very obvious in my tone. Very, very obvious. So yeah, I just had to say that real quick because I'm not about to be accused of being a false accuser.
But honestly, I don't even think like that whole sex addict thing, like that's besides the point. Like everyone's talking about.
So you admit that you was just slandering him, right?
Slandering? No, I was
Yeah,
slandering you. It was supposed to
Yo,
be a slide
this
at you,
nigga's
nigga.
brain dead. Yo,
It was
oh
supposed to be
my
a slide
god,
at you.
this nigga's brain dead.
Wait, so based.
Right?
Wait, so based off of reports, right?
This nigga's stupid. Oh my god.
So based off of reports, he essentially sexually harassed her.
Yeah. Yes, he
So
got to a point
That's
where
what's being alleged.
you can say he's a sexual harasser.
That's what's being alleged.
They ever have.
That's bare minimum.
No, hold on. That allegedly. Let's keep it at allegedly. Let's not call him a sexual harasser just off of it. Let's say
I'm just going off of the reports. So yeah, allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. So you gotta put that. Don't call him put allegedly. Don't call him an actual one.
Okay, bro. Listen. Here's the facts. All right,
bro.
we're gonna go with the facts, my nigga. We're gonna go with the facts. This is just factual information, nigga. The nigga got reported on by a female worker. She said he made unwanted comments to her.
Which is sexual harassment.
The Celtics did an investigation that leaked back since June. This has been going on for months. The investigation had brought information that they thought justified a year suspension. So at the minimum, saying this nigga is a sexual harasser or whatever the case may have been is not far from the fucking truth. It's not even an accusation, nigga. It happened. Something happened to that extent because he got suspended for a year.
So
they're not going to suspend him for a year
There
for
has to
cheating
be
on Nia
core
Long.
proof.
They're not going to conduct a law investigation for cheating on Nia Long. They're not going to do that just because he had a consensual relationship with another employee. Understand that. Stop saying stupid shit. We don't care if this nigga loved her or not, nigga. This is what happened. These are the facts. Stop asking us stupid ass questions, nigga. Stop asking us, well, we don't know if this nigga loved her or not. We don't know what their relationship was. Like, stop asking us stupid ass questions, bro. Clearly, it's not something consensual. They suspended this nigga for a year and it's indefinite, nigga. We don't even know if this nigga gonna be the coach of the Celtics no more. Stop asking stupid shit, bro. I'm tired of going back in circles with your dumb ass. Stop doing this shit, bro. You stupid as hell.
Exactly. That's what.
Stop going. We're not going back in circles. Stop asking questions. Let's go ask some questions about some other shit, bro. You being stupid as fuck, bro. We've been going about this for an hour, nigga. Your ass dumb as hell. Stop talking, bro. Stop asking us about this shit, bro.
What was he suspended for a year for?
Stop asking us, bro. Read
for
the report.
bare minimum for sexually harassing the female.
Read the report.
For violating team rules and company policy. That's what he was.
Just read the report, bro. Listen to Brad Stevens. Listen to the co-owner of the Celtics say this nigga violated multiple guidelines in the fucking Celtics organization. This nigga violated multiple code of conduct issues, bro. It's not even just one thing, bro.
Trey, hold on, because that's where you're wrong. You're just saying it's a sexual interactions. You are trying to lower everything that comes in play with that as well. We've talked about his role on the team.
Steve-O, I'm saying the bare minimum. I'm saying the bare minimum. I'm not talking about just sexual act.
Trey, I agree with you. I'm talking about a chef. He's lower. He's minimal. He's
That's what I'm saying.
minimalizing.
He just talking just to
No, but chef, but you're minimalizing what exactly happened, and that's not it. It's his role on the team. It's the fact he had that broke policies, and on top of that, there are also him sexually harassing, allegedly.
No, you just added that. Now you added that last part. You just
added what? Added what?
You added that last part in. That he was suspended for sexual harassment.
I mean, based off reports, we're going off of reports.
What do you say?
It's literally pinned at the space, bro.
What are you
read the top of the jumbotron? Low even highlighted.
Both sides are right. Both sides are right. Both sides are right, bro.
It was confirmed. It was confirmed that he was told to stop having sexual intercourse, and he kept doing. That's what he was suspended for a year for.
That's not even confirmed. Wait, nigga, are you dumb? That's not even. This nigga is so stupid, bro. They're not gonna suspend him for a year because he said no, I'm not gonna stop fucking her. That's not what's gonna happen. You understand that?
Yes, that was breaking.
Yes, he broke.
They said he broke, bro. The owner, bro.
It ain't my beef.
The owner of the team, as in the person who owns the team, like I don't even know what owns me, but like he paid money to like co-own this team, right? Like he's a part of, like he's the head of the franchise, right? The nigga said himself he violated multiple, as in more than one, a code of conduct policy. He had multiple code of conduct violations. That's one. Two, the other shit talking about something they told him to stop. That's not confirmed, bro. That was something I put up because it was a possibility that could have happened, right? That's what we were saying. If he did this, what is confirmed, my nigga, is that that the leadership thought it was consensual, and then they were told by the other woman that was in the relationship, the other woman that was in this a part of this whole drama, that he made unwanted comments towards her. It's highlighted on the jumbotron. Lowe made the tweet. He highlighted the part that you should be reading. So stop asking us questions. Stop saying we're accusing him or we're doing inflammatory shit to him, because we're not. That is what's been reported by an official source in Shams. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm not gonna try to pronounce his last name, but Shams reported that his sources are legit, bro. We know who Shams is, bro. That's in the Athletics article. That's what they said.
But that's
so
still,
go off that.
I was going to say I ain't finna keep this argument going. So you got that one. I'll just let you have that one because you just won't stop talking. You won't let nobody get nobody else.
All right, bro. If that's how we got to end the conversation, then end the conversation.
That's how we gonna end it right there.
Okay, then cool. Thank you. Now, what do y'all niggas want to talk about? Unless the space is open.
Let's talk about the Warriors. Let's talk about Steph Curry. I want to talk about Steph Curry.
Yeah, okay, I'm leaving, bro.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Hey, but real quick, your Boston Celtics are in trouble, Trey. I just wanted to let you know.
I still think we'll be a top 2 seed.
Rob Will
is
gonna be out. Rob Will isn't playing serious
I ain't gonna lie, Warriors
until January, bro. Your coach is gone.
Y'all gonna lose Jaylen Brown too.
I think we're
what's
fine.
going on.
I think we'll be fine for this season.
Keep your eye out
whatever
for
happens
Lakers,
next season happens.
Jason Tatum been want to be a Laker. Come on, man.
All right, bro. Hold on. Who said that? So I can block them.
Man, Warriors 2P no here.
All I'm gonna say before I wrap this shit up. Again, niggas can act dumb all they want to, but you don't do this unless there is overwhelming mounting evidence that could point to the fact that there's something much bigger than what has been reported.
No.
Obviously, when there's a whole law firm set in place, and an investigation happened, there's only so much information that can be given out for legal reasons. But they don't go the route of hiring a whole law firm. They don't go the route of having a third party investigate it. They don't go out of their way to do those things unless something is more damning than he violated our policy of relationship inner workplace relationships. Like they wouldn't go that route, nor would it be lasting longer than a year, nor would the investigations last longer than a month, nor would there be reports of there being at bare minimum unwarranted comments, unwarranted messages sent to the woman's way. So like those are all things. Again, we don't have to conclude what he did or did not do, but it certainly isn't. We're just going to suspend him because of XYZ, because the route in which they decided to go in, and also the response in which they decided to give, and on top of that, the way that it's being covered is not something as simple as, well, they just had this healthy dynamic relationship that they were not supposed to have because of a morality clause that we put in our contracts. That's just not how that works. Just not.
Now, if you're wrong in all this, I just need you to get on here and issue a full apology.
Okay, and then how about this? When we're right and you're wrong, like the dumbass you are, I want you to come on this app and admit that I'm a loser who doesn't know what I'm talking about. Are you gonna
Why
say
do you
that?
want to be right so bad about this?
Because I'm him, Cher. I'm always right.
No, not you, Ash. Not you.
Oh,
Ash. I mean,
my
the other
fault.
guy.
My ego.
Because
took over.
That nigga ego just took over.
No, because also think about it like this too. Like, no, you
Because he wants to be made a fucking.
We've seen someone get wrongly accused in sports before, and it's a possibility that it's crazy that everybody jumping.
Yeah, but when the people who get wrongly accused, they don't. But when people who are wrongly accused, they do not go this route. And even when they do go this route, the response in which they have a whole nother third party investigated, they still wouldn't immediately come to the conclusion of a whole year suspension.
What you mean?
Now, also,
you mean taking Udoka's
he's
route?
completely acting like Ime Udoka himself did not like admit to doing the shit and say he apologizes.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta
realize.
Like
Ime Udoka himself has said, "Yo, look, I apologize for the actions that led to this. You know what I'm saying? I did that shit, right?" This nigga Chef said, "Well, we don't know if he did it or not."
Yes, because he just broke up his.
You just said yes to that?
I know that he. Yes, I know that he fucked. Like everybody knows that he just broke up his whole family. I think that's like, you feel me? I think that's what he was basically apologizing to. It's like his family that he clearly just ruined.
He apologized to the team. What about that?
Yes, he apologized to the team. Also, like, come on, he knew.
He cheated on the team.
But
Hey,
why?
no. Listen,
You're
this
not
nigga
answering
chef
why.
wants us to. This nigga chef really wants us to believe that if you cheat on Neil Long, you will lose your job. You will get a lawsuit against you. You will lose you lose all your belongings because you cheated on Neil Long.
Context, though.
No, he's not, bro.
I'm
That's
not
exactly
taking that
what you're saying.
I did not just say him cheating on Neil Long caused.
That has been the entire point of your
his
conversation and
apology.
dialogue for the last hour and a half.
He apologized to the team. He apologized to the team explicitly for the actions that led to him getting suspended. He fully admitted that he did that shit. Because you know when niggas who are innocent until proven guilty, do not be like, yeah, I did that shit. I apologize. They don't do that.
Did he admit to sexually harassing her? Did he admit to that?
No, we're not saying that. But
I just want this. Wait, Lo, stop. I want this to be a lesson to everybody, bro. Please, in any topic, even if it's regular basketball talk, do not speak when you are ignorant, have not read up on information, or have not taken the time out of your day to look at what has actually transpired. We have had a man who he himself admitted has not fully read all of the reports, has not fully read what has actually been said, but keeps coming out here speaking as if what we are saying is full of voids and doesn't have any connecting pieces, and we're just spreading misinformation. You have come to ignorant conclusions time after time after time again in the last 85 minutes that you have been on here. I'm at a loss for words how you can continue to spread this terrible negative propaganda of yours that Ime Udoka has any form of cape in this. That we can even begin to come to his side in any way, shape, or form.
Wait, can I also
can I jump in real quick? I just want to say one thing about what you just said. I think the biggest problem in all of this is the Celtics. They did not give the information that everybody should have by now, and that's what's causing all this speculation. They made a news conference and they didn't give any news. They didn't say exactly what happened. By now, they should just come out and say this is what happened. Period.
But they
Stop all the
can't.
speculation.
They cannot.
Why not?
So early.
Because you know why? Because
the investigation. Let me finish and I'll let you go. The investigation is obviously good enough to suspend the coach for a whole year. So it should be good enough to come say this is what happened and that's why we suspended him for a year. They didn't even give you that information.
Let me just ask you a question real quick. You can follow up with this. In
Get
what
your mic.
type of situation where there has been a legal team involved would result somebody else not having the ability to say something? What normally happens in that scenario?
What happened? Wait, what you say? I didn't even.
If a legal team is involved, and the response after they've done their investigation is, "Hey, I cannot speak on what happened." What do you think? What result would you logically come to with that?
There's a confidentiality agreements maybe between the parties that don't allow them to go.
Like maybe it's an NDA.
No, there's inconclusive evidence at that moment.
So then why suspend the coach for a whole year if you don't have to? Look, my point is, all of the speculation we're all making is because they never gave anybody the full information. That's why we're speculating.
There's three things that could have occurred. Either A, you're right, there's some type of legal agreement that has been signed that they're not supposed to say something like an NDA. Two, they don't have suffice enough information, which I would argue they probably do at this point, since they already concluded the proceedings. The owner of the owner, not the proceedings, excuse me, they've already proceeded the investigation. The owner of the Celtics has said he's looked at it and they are concerning. And then there is a minimalistic response to it, which is suspending him. Or C, that there more than likely will be legal proceedings after the conclusion that could result into something damning enough to where they legally cannot speak upon it. Those are the three conclusions in which somebody would not be able to say something after somebody has done a legal, they've got a legal firm, a law firm to do an investigation on what happened. There more than likely is going to be legal proceedings that follow it.
That's why they would not be able to say something.
And the process takes a while. Like, dude, there could literally be a clear-cut murder case, and they'll still take a while because they're like, all right, we need every single thing cleared up in order to really realize, like, okay, this is done. Paperwork needs to be filed. Everything needs to be processed through. It takes a while. Like, it's just naturally how it is.
Facts, because they could ruin the whole investigation if they speak about something.
Exactly. Like, dude, like, it's like if you, like, even if they saw Ime in 4K, let's just say they had, like, a fucking camera and they just saw Ime just, like, do some, like, fucking sexual harassment or whatever the hell he's accused of. Like, even then, they would still have, like, I would feel like they'd still have to, like, do, like, a couple of more days or weeks of processing with, like, paperwork or something else in order to really even come to that conclusion.
Right, just like the George Floyd situation. They couldn't speak on it. They just relieved them of their duties. They never fired them. They waited until it went through the courts, and then they got arrested for murder like they should have. Exactly. Wait, like that.
And also, can't you unsuspend somebody from like something that they had? Like, let's say they suspended Ime for a year. Can't they unsuspend him for a year? Like, let's say he became.
Yeah, but based off of what I know, they're not unsuspending that nigga.
No. I get that, but I'm saying that as an example. Like, they could unsuspend it because, like,
right,
what
yeah,
I'm trying to,
yeah, they could technically speaking. Yes, they probably.
What I'm trying to prove is that, like, the 1 year suspension is the same thing as saying indefinite. I just feel like they just use different wording. Like,
thank you, Shane. They said it's for a year. The year is the minimum. They literally said it's a year. We don't know his future's going to be with the team. It's literally
that's what they said on the press
conference. Yeah, exactly.
It's
just like the same intention, just different wording, and I feel like it's just
my question is though, like, why? Because I hear this question, like, why haven't they just said anything? Like, there's their fault. We're speculating. Why do y'all feel like y'all entitled to this information though? Like, we are not entitled to know more than we should. We really shouldn't even know. The fact that we know this much, bro, means that someone leaked the shit and it was we was never supposed to know any of this shit, bro. We was never supposed to know any of this shit happened. Y'all know that, right?
Because the reality is, normally when these situations happen, when it finally does break to Woj and Sham and all of them, they will be in a legal standing to say all the things in which they need to say to get the information out there. But what seems to be is that either people felt as if like it was taking too long and they leaked it, which you could argue that because again the preseason is about to start in like a few days, like so like that's part of the reason why. But more importantly, it more than likely came to the point in which they were just in the middle of the process of trying to figure out what they were going to do. And until they actually came to that conclusion with the information that they received from the investigation. So again, I understand y'all want the information, but it seems as if like they just got this shit leaked while in the middle of the process of what they're doing it. But again, though, I just wanted to be clear. There's nothing about this that sounds like it was a normal, healthy relationship that just so happens to be going against the conduct of the moral conduct of the Boston Celtics. None of this sounds like that at all. I don't know why it's that difficult, and for there to also have been, or it's been reported that at bare minimum there has been unwarranted messages. Like I don't know what I get that y'all want to wait, and we can wait, but don't act as if like there isn't a bunch of red flags and variables pointing to, and other factors pointing to the fact that this is clearly not something normal, like, oh, they just had a relationship in the workplace. No.
And any harassment is bad harassment. It's too much. Just saying text messages, that's too much. He should be fired for it. So that's my opinion.
That is also true, yeah. The fact that these just unwarranted messages alone could easily have yielded a response to him getting fired. Very easily.
Who's cooking, bro?
Bro, that man destroyed the cutting board. Good.
Crazy.
Anyway,
exactly because
I think the other problem is that the punishment is not even clear. They're saying they're suspending him, and they might even fire him. So I think if it's that serious, you should just fire him and end all of this.
I agree with
you. What he did. I think. Yeah, listen. Let me make this point. I think what he did. No, but I really think from what we've seen, I think it's serious enough for them to they should have just, if the allegations are serious enough for you to suspend him for a year, they should be serious enough for you to just fire him and get it over.
No,
Hey,
but
yo,
the reason
King
why,
Beerless.
you're still
Beerless,
missing,
you
you're
just
still
don't
missing
get
it.
it, do you?
The reason why they
do we
didn't
just
fire,
have to
because
repeat what we just said right now?
the reality is, in all honesty, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they just fire him next week once they continue to conclude the investigation and get all the information and do the legal due diligence to make sure that they're in proper standings to go in that direction. So that's all I'm saying.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. They were from what the owner has said. They got done all the information that was received from them after the investigation. Apparently, just got back to them 2 or 3 days before this whole thing leaked. And so what I'm saying is there's a possibility that they still needed to do more legal due diligence to make sure that they were in the proper standings to make that commitment to firing him. But until then, what we're going to do is just you're suspended for a year, because it seems as if like we have more than enough evidence to properly suspend you at bare minimum. So we're going to suspend you for a year, and then we're going to continue to look into what we need, all of our options, and what we need to do in the legal standing, and then we'll make the conclusion after that. Again, though, all of that does not sound like a healthy relationship that happened between two individuals in a workplace that just so happen to be obstructing or violating a morality clause in their contract. That is not what that sounds like.
And we're also I just got some new information. Well, I don't know if you can. Actually, I'm not gonna ask you that. But I don't know if this is true or not. But apparently, a lot of information is saying like a lot of sources are saying that like the reason this got out is because like the person, like the boyfriend of the person involved, like the husband of the person involved, they're the ones that like hired the PI, got the information out, and was like they found conclusive information that like this was happening, and then they told Celtics,
yeah, Lowe said that earlier.
We're going to like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just seen some new shit like they hired a PI and shit. Like the boyfriend got that nigga caught up in 4K, bro. Pretty much, and like that's why the Celtics like got in front of it like the way it is. That's why they don't have like the information.
And if that's true,
it's not all conclusive, bro. Like
but even if you go before you go share, even if you listen to the owner talk, he says that they already had some already investigating before they got to the point where they got to. So it was already somebody else involved. You listen to what he said. So yeah, it's already been there. Like somebody else already got somebody involved first, and then they had to follow up with their own
Also, the reason they don't just fire him right away is because Massachusetts is a right-to-work state. So if they don't cross their T's, dot their I's, and fire him, and this comes out where it's not as serious, he didn't deserve the fire, he could sue the Celtics for any type of money.
Like people gotta understand, in investigations, literally, you could just like lose everything if one little mistake happens, and you're not fully prepared for every single like situation, every single angle that could happen. You gotta have all like your bases checked in an investigation, regardless of whatever it is. So that's why like it's taken a while, because like the investigation, they're like, look, we just can't fuck up anything, and if they do, like how you said, they're gonna get sued, and it's gonna be like the whole company is gonna get thrown out, the reputation is gonna be gone. It's better to like take your time and actually like check everything.
Yeah, like imagine if Ime was just like totally like innocent from this. Like he could easily sue the Celtics. You feel me? Like they got to take these type of precautions initially before they just fire a dude. You feel me?
And again, with the 1 year suspension, you can get unsuspended from it. So it's not like this 1 year suspension has like any weight in terms of like the timing. They just didn't say indefinite. So really, it's just like, in all honesty, we know it's an indefinite suspension. So who cares really about the timing of it?
But yeah, I'm about to wrap up the space. I understand people's reservations and concerns with making sure that somebody is not wrongfully accused of something that they did or did not do. Understandably so. I think though there seems to just be enough flags to conclude that something was done by Ime that he was not supposed to do, regardless of the bounds in which that was. There should have been some type of response to that. But the simple fact that after the investigation, that it's concluded that the owners and coaches of the team and everybody else in the team cannot publicly speak about it. I think that's very, very telling. Again, I don't think that would have been the response if it was just
Hey, they had a work relationship. That's his work wife. I don't think that would have been a response to it, especially when it gets followed up that Shams is reporting allegedly that there were unsolicited messages being sent. Can't
real
be
quick. Real quick, I would say I view the suspension really as like the Celtics trying to hold on as long as they can, but because I kind of agree with what I don't know what his name is kind of saying, like if there's enough evidence to suspend him, like if we're going to say that the unsolicited messages and all of that is what actually occurred, then he needs to be fired. I view the suspension as okay. Hopefully, we can maybe come to some kind of resolution as far as all parties involved. And while this suspension is happening, the situation about this can kind of die down because I don't think that they're in a rush to give up a first-year head coach who just took them to the finals. So I actually view the suspension as an indictment of the Celtics organization more than anything, because if there's enough evidence, like I said, even to warrant the suspension, then you know that this man was, sexually or not sexual,